I haven't washed my hair in, is it a problem if you lose count? Listen, this whole video is about not caring what people think, and I do not care that if people look at me like I'm disgusting, then I wash my hair about once a week. Because guess what? It's still on point. You guys like my nervous rash that happens on my neck? That's so cute. Well, what is up? We are here December 31st, last day of 2015, and I thought this would be a really good opportunity to talk about what I learned in 2015. If I had to describe this year, it would definitely be the year of cutting the safety net and stepping outside your comfort zone. Definitely. This year has just been super, made me realize a lot of stuff. It's made me, I feel like I've matured so tremendously. For those of you who know, I've written this a couple times on my blog that in the beginning of this year I was just not at a happy place. Not that it was super dramatic, but I just honestly hated where I worked. I just wasn't happy, not the job itself or in who I worked with, because I love that aspect of it, but it was just the fact of you've got so much more potential that you can use, and you can't use it in this kind of environment. And that was what was so frustrating, because I'm like, I know I can do a lot more, but I can't. So I just have so much creativity to give, whether you all think it's good or whether whoever thinks it's good. I just have all this creativity energy that I just want to use. And I couldn't do it there. So basically, it's really interesting. In May, I had made the decision to leave, and it's really funny how life happens, because you think it's going to go so smoothly, oh, I'm going to go in and I'm not going to be emotional, and I'm going to be strictly this, point A, B, and C. I'm going to leave, and it's going to be great. Well, the night before, I wasn't even planning on doing this. It was going to be the very end of May, but this was the beginning. I had the worst anxiety attack. It was I couldn't breathe. I felt like I wanted to jump out of my skin. If you know what I'm saying, if you've ever had that happen, it's oh my god, it's the worst thing in the entire world. So I had that happen, and I remember walking up to, or running up to my parents' bedroom and just crying, and I'm like, I cannot do this. This is just, it's weighing on my chest so heavy. So the next day I was like, I'm doing it. I'm putting my 2 weeks in, and that's gonna, or I think it was 3 weeks, whatever the case is. So I went in there, and I was still okay, don't be nervous. It's gonna be fine. And so at the very end of the day, I walked in there, and I was like, can I talk to you? And you try to be professional, and I'm one of those people, very emotional, and I care so much about people, and I care so much about what you think about me. It's I don't know how to be selfish, and that's also a point that I've learned this year. So I cared so much about what they were thinking, and I just started crying, which was so entirely embarrassing, because they were like, what the heck is wrong with you? So yeah, I cried, said I felt bad, because summer in that where I was working was, a really busy time of year. So I just felt like I was kind of leaving them hanging, but I also knew that I had to do this for me. I couldn't go another week feeling this way. So it was fine. I did it, and I walked out feeling like this was a really a defining moment in my life. So I was given the opportunity to nanny in the summer. So that's kind of why I had chose to do it at the end of May. And I was in the process of getting my personal training certificate. So I was like, that's great. I have time to study, because I was taking the test at the end of the summer. So it had worked out. The timing was pretty good. So I did that, and it's just so interesting to me how when you step out of your comfort zone, that is when things happen. And the reason I say that is because there's a few people that I subscribe to on YouTube, and one YouTuber being Brittany Lesser is her name, and she is so funny and so cute, and I've kind of become really obsessed with her. I've watched 15 videos in the last 48 hours. But somebody had asked her this question, what is your best piece of advice? And she had said that when you step out of your comfort zone, that's when things happen. And it's so true. Because in the summer, okay, I nannied, I left this job that people were like, I cannot believe you're leaving. This is a great job. Like, it's secure, it's good money. Like, I can't believe you're doing this. And so that was hard to deal with. Because if people are not living or can understand what you're doing, they don't get it. And they don't understand why you would leave, like, the security of this, and this. So when I had nannied, basically it was like, okay, like, balls to the wall, like, you got to get your personal training certificate and you got to get a job by the end of this, because I'm not going to go without work. So I took my test and I passed, and that was a super, like, awesome feeling, because it was like all that hard work that I poured into, I reaped the benefits. So I'd gotten that, and then I started applying for jobs, and I've landed a job, which where I'm at now. And it's great. It's given me, like, such good experience, because I've never worked with people, like, in that type of, I've always worked with people, but this is something new, and it's a super rewarding job. And so, I really believe things happen for a reason, and I've met super amazing people that I absolutely adore, and really good friends. But what's really interesting is that it's like all this, like I told you in the beginning, I've got a lot of creativity. It's just really, like, unleashed. A lot of people don't know this, but I used to take singing lessons for like 11, 10, I don't know, whatever, 10 or 11 years. And that was like my first real love. I loved it, and I wanted to pursue that. But honestly, I consider it a love. And in my blog, I think I put it as a passion, but I don't know entirely if it was a passion, because I just didn't want to work for it like I do with, like, fitness and, like, helping people. So I don't know, that's debatable how I felt about that. And one thing I had started, when I stepped out of my comfort zone, is I had started this blog, Dream More, Be More. And like, in the beginning, like, I felt silly, because I'm like, I'm writing this, and, like, I'm sure, like, nobody probably really cares at all what I have to say, but I love writing, and obviously, like, I'm not the next J.K. Rowling, but I just enjoy putting myself out there, because it's such a raw thing to do, and a lot of people don't do it, and I didn't do it for the longest time. I mean, literally up until probably October, when I started this blog, I refused to put something out on social media unless it was, like, crystal clear, perfect. And now, like, I just don't care. Like, this is me. This is who I am. You're either going to like it or you're not. And so now, I've started, like, going back to singing. Like, I've started doing, these little, like, videos of me singing. And half of it's off key. I don't know if I'm getting the words right. There's no music. It's just me a cappella. But, I really love it. And I love, like, showing people, like, this is one of the things that I love. And I think if there's one mission that I'm on in this life, is to show people to, like, step outside your comfort zone and forget, like, what people think, like, what they think. And I know that's so much easier said than done. You've seen all, like, the cheesy, like, Tumblr quotes, which I blogged, like, the hell out of. But I really didn't get it until these last couple of months, like September, October, like, when I had really stepped foot into what I wanted to do. I didn't get it. And it's just amazing, and I just want to encourage people to do that. So to end this little documentary about my life, stepping outside your comfort zone, doing, what you want to do and what makes you happy, and overall, like, those two things combined, like, has really made me so much more confident and so much secure. Like I told you, like, I don't even care. Like, I'm gonna put this stupid video of me singing on social media. I'm gonna blog or write, like, whatever I want to write, and you really can't, like, judge me for it, because it's my own writing and my own thoughts. And that's just such a, like, liberating feeling. It's ridiculous. I knew the second I had changed, when I care more about what I wanted than the view of others. This isn't like an overnight thing. This is definitely something you have to work on. And I'm not saying I'm perfect all the time, because honestly, still posting stuff, like, I still get nervous, and I'm still like, ooh, what are people gonna think? And I'm sure I've got a lot of negative thoughts, but I'm sure I've got a lot of positive thoughts too, or maybe nobody's even looking at it. I don't know. Who knows? What doesn't stop me is there's nothing worse than the thought of, like, what if I never did this? What if I was still staying at my old job and, being controlled by other people's thoughts? So just to end this, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. It's just speaking from my heart and speaking from my mind. I'll have this on my blog so you can see it, or I'll probably keep, like, the writing portion of it on there still. So if you don't want to watch the video, you can read it and tell me what y'all think, and I will see you guys next year. It's so stupid. Bye, guys.